As we travel down the road of vulnerability in Appalachia, we see land swamped with substance ranging from narcotics to alcohol, according to the Oxycontin Express 2014 and Miller 2009. It is right here that we find cause for concern in the substance abuse arena. The pill industry, supply and demand, thrives in Appalachia, providing some with a comfortable income source needed to provide for their families, while others suffer through substance addiction and the cause of helpless children left alone to care for themselves. It appears that the people in this rural area are chained to the substance of the bottle dating back as early as the 1700s, according to Miller 2009, and the feeling of hitting a brick wall while fighting the urge to use. For this reason, children are removed from their parents' home for neglect. The results of it all are alarming to the growth and development of the child. Have you ever stopped to think about what those effects are? Immediate effects of foster care. Once social services determine a child's home to be unsafe, the child is then placed under the guardianship of the government. Some immediate emotional effects of this transition include isolation, anxiety, and the loss of the ability to trust others, according to the Child Welfare Information Gateway. These children who have experienced emotional, physical, or environmental neglect often experience symptoms of depression and withdrawal once removed from their biological mother. Long-term effects of foster care. Approximately 60% of foster care children suffer from developmental disorders such as those related to language, problem solving, motor coordination, and growth development. Many foster children feel devalued by society due to people's low expectations and the common misperception between foster kids and delinquents. Foster care places emotional strain on children who understand that they have been permanently separated from their biological families. Once a child enters into the foster care system, the child feels as though they will never see their parents again, nor do they have a voice in the matter. The pain that a child feels when their life has been shifted from the norm is unbearable. The lengths of stay of children leaving foster care varies and is dependent upon the seriousness of the removal. Some removals may even be permanent. The age upon which children enter foster care also varies. Momentarily, as we look through the eyes of a mother involved in this same situation, she feels as though her child is trapped in a system of no quick return and begins to question her road to recovery. She asks herself, will she have time to accomplish what is required of her to have her child safely returned back into her home? So why are children placed in foster care? According to CPS, Child Protective Services, foster care is an immediately attempt to provide Maslow's hierarchy of needs, such as self-actualization, esteem needs, love and a sense of belonging, safety, and physiological needs. However, this quick fix of the child's removal involves statistical data that shows 52% of foster care kids are prescribed some type of psychotropic drug, according to Health Impact 2015. Let's take a look at the numbers. Medicaid coverage for foster care children are high because of the increasing of atypical antipsychotics, in which is a concern for safety and concerns about appropriateness. The first data project was completed in a network of only 16 states and covering their policies. Flags went up: too many, too much, too young. Pharmacy for the fiscal year of 2009 to 2010. About 71% of children in foster care use general pharmacy services at least once. About 66% of Medicaid children who were not in foster care use general pharmacy services at least once. Mental health drug usage. About 34% of children in foster care used at least one mental health drug. That's 34%, compared to about 3% of Medicaid children who were not in foster care used at least one mental health drug, according to Medicaid.gov 2012. 1 in 3 children receive behavioral health services, and the mean expense for behavioral health is $8,094, with a mean combined physical and behavioral health of $12,130. Now that's compared to 1 in 15 that received behavioral health services for Medicaid enrolled children that are not in foster care, and 4,868 mean expense for behavioral health services, with a combined physical and behavioral health expense of $8,520. Those numbers are very drastic. Now 50% prescribed psych meds receive more than one prescription. That's for the children that are in foster care, compared to 33% of people that are not in foster care. And while 42% prescribed psych meds receive antipsychotics while in foster care, and 26% while not in foster care. Medicaid is the primary source for children in foster care. Children in foster care often receive fragmented services from multiple agencies, including child welfare, education, juvenile justice, and Medicaid. Many children in foster care have experienced trauma or neglect, increasing their risk for behavioral health conditions, according to the Center for Healthcare Strategies, Inc. This should give you a little bit to think about. So what happens to the child if the parent never gets her act together and she winds up staying in the system? Is the child adoptable by being cute enough, small enough, or sweet enough? Or is the child unadoptable, being plain, delayed, or misbehaves? The number of young adults aging out of foster care in the United States has increased by 64%. They face high rates of homelessness, unemployment, unwed pregnancy, and incarceration with no help, no one to help. Currently, 463,000 children are in foster care. 30,000 children age out of the foster care system each year. In 2008, 29,000 youth, or teen percentage, 60% of children exiting the system were emancipated or aged out from foster care at the age of 18 or older without a safe permanent home. Age out is the term used to refer to foster children when reached the age of 18 and are no longer wards of the state and are no longer eligible for benefits under the foster care program. Do those children receive counseling even after they've aged out? Those are questions we have to ask ourselves. Where have we got to now? There is a clear need to consider the impact of trauma on children and young people in the looked after system and to develop a clear understanding of the presenting needs which need to be addressed by services. Without effective interventions, many children and young people who have been injured through repeated psychological traumatic experiences will not recover. There is a clear need to have trauma-informed assessment, attachment, trauma, and dissociation to help provide the right supports for both the children and carers. Cross 2012. Pros and cons. Pros: if a program was implemented that increased foster care ages to 21, this would help foster kids access more resources, be more prepared, etc. In effect, there would be less need for public aid and dependency. There would also be less negative effects as far as kids not finishing high school, being homeless, getting incarcerated, etc. Cons: while there would be less money spent on foster children who age out in a public sense, the new program would have to be considered. It is estimated to cost around $20,000 per child per year who stayed in foster care until they were 21. This concludes my story of child removal in Appalachia.